you're constantly overwhelmed, burnt out, and stuck in cycles that just don't make sense, your chakra system needs to be recalibrated. In this training video, I'm going to go over a different approach to chakras and how they are typically understood in a more multidimensional, concrete, practical way that emphasizes your spiritual nature, your energetic essence, your physical body, the signs and symptoms that your body gives you, and the signals that are interpreted by your intuition. If you don't know me, I'm Holly. I'm an intuitive development coach, a shaman, and a spiritual teacher, and I help intuitive empaths harness their gifts so that they can manifest a life wilder than their wildest dreams. So if you're interested in this, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube page. And otherwise, I'm going to go over a training that will activate your chakras in a different way than you have ever even heard of. So I'm really excited to expose these methods to you. They are something that I have contemplated and put together through a divine process and years of meditation. So this is how I address this chakra system and how I approach it with a multi-dimensional quantum lens. So let's get to it.
Hello and welcome to the Quantum Chakra Recalibration, a multi-dimensional light body activation training. This is an immersive recalibration experience. So it's not just an informational training or an educational video. This is designed specifically for intuitive empaths and spiritual seekers who are ready to step into higher alignment and energetic sovereignty. This is not just your average chakra training. This is a multidimensional initiation into understanding your energy centers as portals, gateways of light, awareness, and consciousness that influence every level of your being from physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Through this journey, you'll learn how to unlock, balance, and align your chakra system as part of your light body technology, and I'll explain that more as we go through this, creating space for more clarity, intuition, purpose, and vitality in your life. So I'm so excited to go over this because it will change how you approach your energy and how you balance alignment. And this will help you recalibrate it in a way that emphasizes perfect energetic alignment. So there are no blockages, and you are just entering pure quantum flow by calibrating your energy centers and opening those portals collectively. So you'll understand this more as we go on, but this is where we're going to start, is understanding chakras as energy portals. Each of the 7 main chakras is not just a spinning wheel of energy, it is its own consciousness. So therefore it is a consciousness gateway that processes your life force, prana, in the Vedic sense, and filters multidimensional and complex experiences. And it refers to the roles of your chakras, especially in energy work when you're processing trauma and just emotions and charge from your experiences, and other filters based off of each chakra specifically that pertains to your spiritual development. So this quantum lens is going to tap into that spiritual aspect and that infinite potential that comes from harnessing these energy centers and learning to balance them and manage them to maintain pure equilibrium so that you have an unblocked channel for your life force to come out from the divine through you into your reality to create a life that is beautiful and aligned, and you are grounded and realizing your power, and everything just feels like bliss and love because you are embodying pure authenticity and nothing can touch you. So we'll get more into that later, but this is what you should expect from this activation. So prana is the Sanskrit word for life force energy. It's the vital energy that animates all living things and has us procreate, and it just goes on and on and on and on until infinity. So in Chinese medicine, for example, this is your qi or qi. So this energy enters the body through breath, food, nature, light, and connection, anything that nurtures us. It's not just physical, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual energy as well. So when you nurture your soul, you are helping balance your chakra centers without even knowing it. So the chakras act like energy hubs or processors for this prana. So each one is like a gateway, for example, like I said earlier, and it has its own filter that the light from the divine has to go through. So if one is blocked, then that life force can't continue. And then you will have difficulty manifesting because if your root chakra, for example, is blocked, you don't feel safe and you can't manifest from that place. You have to find a safe place to do it first. So the light enters your body and you open all your chakras and balance them so that you have and recalibrate them so you have that perfect alignment for that light to go through. So the chakras process this light and filter it in its own way through the spectrum of color, and we'll get into that as well. So each chakra governs specific types of experiences from safety to emotional to fulfillment to divine connection, actualization, and just different aspects of the self that each chakra speaks to. So this means that each chakra receives, interprets, stores, and distributes life force to the organs, glands, and systems it's connected to. That's the physical aspect of each energy center. They're not just this symbolic um, wheel that is, resembled as like a flower or some sort of mandala, and it has its own color theory associated with it. Like, it is very symbolic, and the foundational way of understanding it makes that easier, and that's the resonance that it vibrates at with the frequency that it has, and we'll get more into that as well. So, for example, the heart chakra processes emotional energy like love and grief or compassion, and it supports the lungs and hearts physically in that area. So each chakra area in your body affects the organs and glands in that respective spot. So the solar plexus in your stomach processes energy related to power and boundaries and self-worth, and it's connected to the digestive system, which is like your second gut or your second mind, and emotions are filtered through your gut. So it filters experiences. So chakras filter or interpret life events based on your internal state. And if you store those emotionally charged um, emotions in your gut, for example, it could manifest as physical symptoms like IBS or cramps or even Crohn's ulcers. Very severe illness can manifest from imbalances in your chakras. And so restoring balance heals your chakras. So if the chakra is balanced, it filters experience with clarity and alignment, and the energy of your emotions gets processed properly and gets filtered back into the cosmos. You're not storing it in your body anymore and holding it there. So, for instance, a grounded root chakra helps you feel safe even though there's uncertainty. Like, having a grounded root chakra is very helpful right now with all the uncertainty and scary stuff that's going on in the world, and all the warmongering and fear mongering and just depressing things that are happening that people have a difficult time with. But feeling grounded helps carry you through this more than you realize, and it's so beneficial to balance these things so that you could get through difficult times, uncertain times, without it destroying you essentially. If it's blocked or dysregulated, the same experience may be misinterpreted through fear, shame, or disconnection. So, an imbalanced throat chakra, for example, might filter a difficult conversation as a threat rather than an opportunity for you to speak your truth and to communicate freely without fear of repercussion. So, in essence, your chakras act as energetic processors that receive and distribute your life force throughout your being, from the divine and downwards, and vice versa. So, it filters how you interpret, react, and store your experiences in your body and how you process them, and it impacts your perception, your health, and your ability to align with your highest self. So, if you're feeling tension in your body, you're going to feel stressed, and this is all unconscious. So the more we bring awareness to our chakras and expand our consciousness in each one, we understand them better and can interpret and decode the signs and symptoms that our body tells us to balance, to restore balance and harmony to our chakras and alignment. So it stores programming, memories, trauma, and emotional residues. So imagine these huge emotions and very highly charged memories and feelings are stored in your body. And imagine the damage they could do over time, especially the more it compounds and you don't address them. It causes physical symptoms and disease and manifests as mystery illnesses, and then the body starts to attack itself, and it could escalate into autoimmune disorders. So really restoring harmony to each chakra and giving love to it in the way that it needs restores balance and turns your body into onto healing mode, and it is able to heal through the process of restoring balance to your chakra system. So each chakra connects to a gland in your endocrine system, and it affects your whole body and how you feel, the thoughts you have, how you show up, and they all impact one another. If there's imbalances in one, it will start to go into others and create imbalances in there because it's all connected. So it serves as portals between these different dimensions and includes past, present, future experiences, higher realms, ancestral lines, karmic lines, soul contracts, activated codes on an epigenetic level. When you change your chakra system and you recalibrate it, your outer reality will change as a result of the work you're doing to restore balance. And that changes your environment, which allows these chakras to open widely and to allow this divine flow to go through. So I'm going to help you to become aware of your blockages so that you can start to restore balance to them. So when your chakras are in harmony, energy flows so freely up and down your system, creating alignment with your true self, your intuitive knowing with body awareness. It impacts your physical health in a very positive way, and you start to heal ailments that you were told there were no cure to. Like, this is how powerful this stuff is, and it's ancient wisdom for a reason. So this will help you connect with your divine purpose as well and connect with a higher consciousness that will begin to change your reality, and you'll realize how much control you have by mastering your body and these energy centers. So when they're blocked and overactive and underactive, or you're leaking energy, symptoms start to manifest across all levels. But if you start to restore balance, then it comes back and starts to heal itself. So you'll start to feel this in your nervous system and your endocrine health, your hormonal health. So when we talk about chakras as a color, each has their own color and its own frequency. And red, your root chakra is red because it is the lowest frequency and the densest frequency because it's related most to the physical realm, and that energy in its densest form is matter. So when we have an unbalanced root chakra, we are ruminating and resonating at a frequency of shame and guilt and apathy. And as it goes upwards through your body, you start to reach higher frequencies and you will vibrate at that state. But if you have closed chakras, not only can they be constrained, they are overactive if they're too big, but you could feel them not in alignment with your center, with your spine. So it's not just a matter of overactive or closed chakras, it's also the alignment of that chakras. Because if you're feeling everything more like in your heart chakra and it's affecting your heart, your left side in particular, your chakras are going to be way out of alignment like this. So we're going to restore not just the balance of these chakras like we typically talk about, but as well as their alignment with your spine so that you could have that clear channel to go through. And we use color theory. This is how we understand it on a spectrum of light and how we are actually energy in motion. We are light beings. We are not physical beings. That's an illusion of how we perceive the world through our senses when we are actually beings of light, and like it's like how cats would see us. So colors of each chakra reflect their vibration in the visible light spectrum. That's why they each have their own color. So red, the root, is the slowest vibration, closest to earth, densest and most physical, and the violet white light, the enlightenment and beyond, is the fastest vibration, lastest, lightest, and most connected to the divine, and why it draws like a people in like a moth, because you are vibrating so high, you are shining and resonating at a very high frequency that magnetizes everything you want to you and things you don't want. But when you are grounded and you are rooted in a sense of calm and mindfulness and boundaries and compassion, you people cannot get to you. People will bounce off you because your electromagnetic field will be resonating so high that it draws them in, but it also has the capacity to repel. You are able to retract as well as push away. So I hope this is starting to make sense, and especially from a different perspective. So this is not random. This is literally physics. You are literally made of light, and your chakras represent the ways your body, mind, and interact with frequency. And this would be like how your aura manifests. So lower chakras, from your root to your solar plexus, are grounded in the physical. They deal with physical needs, survival, sexual needs, your identity, because your identity is rooted in your body, in your physical sense, and does not exist. This version of you on earth does not exist outside of your body. So it's not the real you. So identity belongs to that lower physical realm. And then your heart is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. So when we talk about mind heart coherence, this is what we're talking about, is that bridge between the body and the mind, and having body awareness and adjusting intuitively to the imbalances in each chakra from up and down. And you will become very aware through my trainings how to sense what each chakra needs, and if it's overactive or if it's constrained. So your upper chakras are related to your mental and spiritual and cosmic realms, and we start to go even upwards out of our body because we are infinite. There are so many chakras that we could tap into when we expand our consciousness to that frequency, that there could be an infinite amount of chakras when we look at it from a multi-dimensional quantum field level. So when your chakras are balanced and your light body is aligned, you move from merely surviving to embodied ascension, and you manifest that in the physical realm. You will glow differently, you'll be healthier, you'll be fitter, your posture will be better, you'll be like a brand new person, and people will be like, what did you do? This is how powerful this stuff is. And so by addressing your chakras in the physical realm and the spiritual realm and the energetic realm, like where your emotions exist, you are naturally affecting your nervous system. So your nervous system is connected directly to your chakras. And this is how it affects you on a physical level. So your chakras directly influence and are influenced by your autonomic nervous system. Every block chakra mirrors some sort of flight, fight, freeze, or fawn response, and every recalibrated chakra signals safety, openness, and alignment, and that's how it activates healing, which leads to thriving. So this is why chakra recalibration begins with the body and your physical needs, and then your emotional needs, and then your spiritual needs, and then it anchors your being, your all your frequencies combine into what you are projecting into reality via your electromagnetic field, and that anchors your light being into form. So if you're vibrating at a high frequency, your reality will just start to shift as a result. That's what that means. So each chakra is related to a certain gland in your body and how that is connected to the organs in your body and your overall being as it works as an organism as a whole, and how each chakra is essentially contributing to an ecosystem within your body, and why these things lead to illness and physical symptoms and chronic mystery illnesses. So once you start to tap into this knowledge, those mystery illnesses start to make sense. So I hope you are starting to make sense and realizing how this is activating as you are watching this training and what is happening inside you. There are shifts happening right now that I hope that you are starting to tune into, and I invite you to tune into them. Pause this video if you need to, and start to tap into what is coming up for you as you go through this training, and write it down. I guarantee you there's some insightful wisdom already coming up for you. So each chakra is connected to a very important gland in your body that affects your overall health. Your root chakra is your adrenal glands, which is where your stress hormones are made. And so if you have overactive adrenal glands, you're running on pure cortisol, which is probably the worst thing for your body that you could possibly have. So addressing your root chakra and grounding will help you get from survival to a more safe centered space so that you could start to address them and move up the spectrum. So that you might hold trauma in your legs, and that could lead to restless leg syndrome or leg cramps or just constant like pain and tension or even arthritis, and it affects like your colon, your digestion, and your lower body, and as well as your immunity, because your stress will constantly manifest as like a hypervigilance response, which leads to an overactive immune system, and then the body starts to attack itself, and it just, the more you ignore it, the worse it gets. So then that will start to affect like your reproductive organs, and your sacral is below your navel, and this is where like your emotions are stored, where your reproductive health is. So if you have PCOS issues, it's most likely because you have a constrained, very tight, dense, low vibrational sacral chakra. Like it's very closed and it's starting to manifest. That energy is manifesting physically as like cysts in that area. So this is how these things are represented as energy centers in your physical body. I want to keep reiterating that as much as possible. So this affects your sexual health. People get kidney stones from this. People have pain in their hips, and this is why dancing and movement and shaking helps to release stored energy so that you could rebalance this chakra just by shaking your hips and getting rid of all the trauma. Think of energy as physical sensations and manifestations in your body. The signs and signals it's trying to tell you via your senses connected to your chakras. So the solar plexus affects your pancreas. People have gallbladder issues or liver issues. And this is where like your power and identity comes from. If you don't stand up for yourself and you're constantly putting yourself in a place where you are hypervigilant and chronic people pleasing, this will affect your solar plexus, and it causes this um, issues with IBS and digestion, and your metabolism is affected by it, and it slows it, or if it's constrained or if it's overactive, it speeds it up, and that creates its own issue. And then it affects how your liver detoxes. So if you're storing all this trauma in your solar plexus, it affects your liver's ability to detox toxins, and then you start to manifest issues with your liver. And then your heart is connected directly to the thymus gland in that area, and it's in your chest. So this affects your lungs, your heart, and your upper back, and you can feel it in different spots depending on where you're holding it. And I could go over like a whole module and just the body alone and how it stores energy and affects each chakra, but that's training for another day. So your throat affects your thyroid. If it's constrained, it's a hypothyroid. And if it's too open, it's a hyperthyroid, and then your hormones are affected by your thyroid, which affects your metabolism, which affects your immunity and everything else in your body. And then people even get like throat cancer or esophageal cancer. And my parents died of cancer, so I've analyzed this and intellectualized it. Why, on a spiritual level, did they get cancer? Because that's mostly how cancer manifests, is from that spiritual paradigm and dimension. And why addressing it from this lens is so important and not looked at all. It's too wooey to people, but it makes so much sense when you start to analyze it from this point. So when you're not expressing yourself, you're closing your chakra, which affects your solar plexus because you're shoving it down. And then you're shoving it down so far that it's going into your gut and it's starting to affect your power and your identity. And then you don't feel safe around anybody, or even being alone, that you can't trust yourself, and then it affects your emotions and then your love, and then it starts to affect your intuition, because how can you trust yourself to take action, and you were cut off from the divine. And this all just affects your body on so much levels, and that affects your brain and then your nervous system, and then your reality is just ultimately very limited and constrained, much like your chakras, and you're vibrating at a very low dense frequency, like I talked about over here. You're stuck here. A lot of people, most people, are stuck down here. They need a lot of work in the physical realm before they could even open up their channel. So they're holding so much pain and shame in this aspect, and why so many women have fertility issues and PCOS, and their trauma is stored in their, especially women, in their womb and their uterus, where there is so much intuitive wisdom that comes from your womb, because it's the connection to the divine. Living beings come out of here. That's how that portal works. So I want to share with you how each portal connects to the quantum realm, but that in particular, these ones in particular, are all connected to the physical realm. People are rooted here. So I hope we're talking and you start to feel a bit more elevated until you start to ascend, and I will teach you how to address these things. But this is how it functions on a physical level. So the chakra system is connected to the nervous system. And so a blocked root chakra may trigger chronic flight or fight, anxiety, hypervigilance, not feeling safe. Your environment might have you constantly having this blocked because maybe you're in a relationship that's abusive and you don't know how to leave. It's going to impact your root chakra. An imbalanced sacral or solar plexus often leads to digestive issues, hormonal imbalances, burnout, very physical symptoms, especially that burnout. An overactive crown or third eye can cause a disassociation, insomnia, migraines, ear ringing. And this is why healing begins with your energetic recalibration of these centers, these chakras, and retraining your nervous system to receive and regulate light-based energy. This energy, because you are a being of light. This is you, is this outline of pure light, especially when you're vibrating way up here, and all of these are completely calibrated and aligned and open to a perfect balanced state. Not overactive, not underactive, just perfect. So what does that alignment, that perfect calibration feel like? And how do you stay in it? When your chakras are aligned, energy flows through that channel smoothly from the Earth star through your galactic centers. Like, this is from the divine into your body, down into the ground, into through gravity and into the earth and back up. And so you feel grounded and expanded, and your intuition and your emotions speak in harmony, meaning your heart and mind are connected and they understand each other and they're working in congruence with each other. And you're not chasing after people you know who aren't good for you, but you can't help yourself. paradigms do not exist when you are balanced and your heart and your mind are working together in synchronicity, and your life flows so beautifully, tapped into the divine, into the quantum field. And so many synchronicities are coming up to affirm in your reality that you are completely calibrated, and you will start to see negative signs when you aren't. Misalignment will start to show up in your reality, and you expand your awareness and your consciousness, not only with your entire being and your outer reality, but also to each center. You will understand how it's manifesting in your reality, and how you receive those signals and interpret those signals will become so much stronger and clearer as you expand your awareness with and consciousness of each center of each chakra. So staying aligned requires daily energy hygiene, clearing, grounding, protecting, addressing your physical needs is a very easy, profound way to protect your energy and to just feel more safe. And it's like giving yourself love, and then your heart chakra opens, and then it starts to open more and more from there. So the more you take care of yourself and pour into yourself, the more you heal your body and the more your chakras will rebalance. And mind body practices like breath and movement and meditation to help you through the difficult emotions that come up when you are in stillness or as you're trying to heal. And emotional honesty with yourself, knowing that you have things you need to work on and that that's okay, and you are trying to do better. And so you're integrating your shadow, which balances your heart and your mind and your body, and it starts to heal your stress and your burnout, and choosing environments that are safe, people that are safe, getting rid of relationships that aren't safe, taking yourself out of environments that aren't serving you, and having positive thoughts that support that mind, body, heart, mind connection, so that you understand I'm here to take care of you. I know that you hurt, but I love you and we will get through this. And knowing that you have your back and building that self trust. So, common energy leaks to watch out for just to begin to build that awareness around each chakra. So, overgiving, people pleasing, hypervigilance, always being there and giving more than what you receive, that will affect your heart and solar plexus. That is where you're leaking energy when you are overgiving. Poor boundaries, physical boundaries, specifically sacral and root chakra. Overthinking and rumination is in that mind area, that third eye drain, and it just creates cloudiness and gets rid of that clarity that you have when your third eye is wide open. Spiritual escapism, bypassing creates a crown imbalance because you're not approaching things how you actually should, and it's creating that locked in 3D matrix dense energy, thinking that you're operating outside of it, and like you're going from 3D to 5D, and that's just its own box, its own dense matrix that you exist in, and it's not helpful. People pleasing, like I said, your throat heart distortion. You are doing things not with love when you are people pleasing. You are doing it to manipulate people's perception of you and to try to handle and manage their emotions when you need to just handle yours and sit with that discomfort that comes from standing up for yourself, confronting people, doing what's right despite being misunderstood. And then suppressed anger obviously is very dense, heavy energy that exists in your solar plexus. And so that anger is stagnation. You're constantly angry and looking for reasons to be angry. It's very hard to pull yourself out of that dense energy because it's like a vortex. It's like a black hole. It's very magnetic and has a huge gravitational pull. And as you move out of it, things get lighter and easier, and you're not leaking things out of frustration and anger. You learn how to stay grounded even when you are angry, and learning to integrate anger without draining you. So unchecked leaks will lead to that fatigue and burnout, chronic inflammation and mystery illnesses, emotional instability, illness and autoimmune dysfunction, loss of vitality and spiritual clarity. I hope this is all starting to make sense by this point. So these imbalances and illnesses are through the heart chakra connection because that tie is severed. Your heart is closed. It is probably the most impacted by everything. When your heart is closed, it affects everything. Each chakra affects a specific part of the endocrine system. Your hormones, your stress responses, and your immunity are all intimately tied to each energy system. So here is the breakdown of the different um, issues and illnesses that come from imbalances in each chakra. So, root, IBS, adrenal fatigue, immune disorders, sacral reproductive issues, UTIs, endometriosis, solar plexus, ulcers, diabetes, liver problems, heart disease, asthma, autoimmune disease, throat, thyroid imbalance, sore throat, TMJ issues. Because you're talking, right? So, or not talking, and so your jaw is constantly clenched for being closed, and now you have TMJ issues. See how that manifests? So, third eye, migraines, brain fog, sleep disorders, nightmares, enhanced spiritual activity like seeing demons, like it can manifest really badly. Crown, depression, chronic fatigue, disconnection from the divine, and that just leads to depression and heart issues and mental health issues. So, energetic misalignment is often the root cause of physical alignment. When we ignore or override our body signals, we are ignoring our intuition, and then they start to manifest. We suppress our energy that eventually manifests as symptoms that could be as bad as cancer. So, chakras work in harmony, not isolation. They all work as a symbiotic machine. Your chakra system is a team, each energy centers informs the others. For example, blocked root affects your throat. You don't feel safe enough to speak. An overactive heart may drain your solar plexus. You give away your power. And an open crown without grounded root chakra creates spiritual detachment and spiritual psychosis, which most gurus and these so called light seekers, that's their problem. And they're not actual light workers, they're fake prophets. So that's why we recalibrate the system as a whole and address each one specifically, but also as a holistic approach. So moving energy through your body, realizing where you're holding it, any tension, any blockages, and not just focusing on one because they will bleed into the other. So, yeah, we are at the bonus expanded chakra system. Congratulations if you made it this far. As your light body activates, higher chakras will start to open to assist your ascension after you've reached that high frequency state. So congratulations. I'm so proud of you for making it this far in the training because this really is going to open up the door for so much potential for you, which is what this whole thing is about, is me helping you embrace your infinite potential. So, just a brief overview of these chakras so as to not overstimulate your nervous system and overwhelm you and think, oh my God, there's so much I have to learn. Take it day by day and see how this awareness of each center expands, including the ones that exist in the upper atmosphere. So, the Earth star is below your feet. That's your connection to your ground, and it's where your star codes, your physical being, are stored that helps you manifest your being into the physical realm. And so it connects to the earth, the wisdom in the earth, as well as all the bodies that have returned back to the earth, including our ancestors. So it connects you to your ancestors, it heals your ancestors and your lineage, and also collects you to your earth's mission. Because you ultimately came here for a physical reason. That's why you reborn and you are manifested into the physical realm here on Earth. So this encompasses your Earth mission, and you will activate this, which connects you to so much wisdom that contains within the Earth. The Earth is ancient and is as old as the universe almost. And so it contains all that wisdom over its history that you could tap into just as much as you could tap into the infinite potential that exists in the quantum field, in the universe, in the galaxy via your soul star, which is above your head. It's that space above your head that connects you to your higher self, your soul purpose, and gives you divine downloads, Akashic record downloads, Kundalini experiences. And then this connects to the galactic chakra that exists beyond this realm, beyond the firmament, as it would be envisioned if it were like a dome explained in the Bible. And so where the heavens and the God space exists would be galactic chakra, and aligns you with the star systems, the universe, collective evolution as a whole, as well as your truth on like a soul level, what you came here to do, your connection to your alien experiences, multi dimensions, all the dimensions, but especially the ones that exist in the space where like aliens come from. And then your universal chakra, which is source consciousness, your connection to pure divine, to pure unity and timeless awareness where God exists. And then these chakras come online as you master the ones that we have just gone over, and it can be quite quickly. If you meet me in the next trainings, we will go over how to recalibrate your 7 chakras instantly, and I will release a meditation that also goes over the meditation I use every day that helps me balance my own chakras every day to maintain that elevated state. So, how do you work with this wisdom? Listen to your body first. It's your first portal of truth. Get in tune with your body and start to expand that awareness in each area of your centers, where your centers exist, where the chakras exist. Listen to those portals individually, and they will tell you what you need to work on, how imbalanced they are, if they're constrained, if they're overactive, and I will help you. I will help you with this in my next training videos. And this is what we were deep diving into this month inside the Intuitive Alchemy Collective. It's my coaching collective where I teach you how to harness your gifts. And we also do work like chakra recalibration, shadow work, nervous system regulation. I help you not only develop and harness your gifts, but also do all the things that come with doing that so that you can maximize your potential and your spiritual growth. So, this month is all about recalibrating your chakras, which is going to connect so well into the next month when you learn a nervous system regulation. Because when you open up your channels, you're going to be in a state of receiving where so much is going to come into your life that don't want you to constrain your chakras and close yourself off and create your own blockages just from self sabotage. I want to help you soothe your nervous system. So all the months within the Intuitive Alchemy Collective compound from the month prior. So this is foundational knowledge that just opens you up to potential. It is only the starting point. So if you're interested in that and you are seeing this on YouTube, please check out the link in the description or the pinned comments to join, and I would love to help you. I would love to have you inside the collective so that we can do this timeless work that just will maximize your potential and have you ascending in no time. So, how do you work with this wisdom? Listen to your body, like I said, balance your lower chakras, your physical ones before focusing on the higher ones. Establish safety, establish boundaries, establish good relationships, get rid of other ones. Make sure that you're in a healthy living environment. If you're working a job that jacks up your nervous system every day and you hate it and your boss is horrible, get try to find a new one. Like, put yourself in environments that support your growth first and foremost, and then you could work on the other ones. So use tools intentionally, like your breath work, color, sound. If you have blocked um root chakra, for example, wear red. Like, own that color and it'll just naturally open, and collect crystals that associated with each color to help you to add to take from their frequency and add it to yours to help uplift your frequency, your vibrancy. Use sound that is harmonized to each chakra. Use visualization, like visualizing colors in each respective area to help build that awareness and expand your consciousness in that area so that you could start to explore the dimensions that it exists in. And then you will start to bring more awareness and insight from those portals that will give you ideas. Like creativity would come from like a root chakra. Like once you feel safe, your creativity will explode, and it'll be so interesting to see the difference between this video before you saw this video and after seeing this video. If you could comment and let me know, I would love to hear it. So check in daily, every day, like where's my energy? Where am I holding tension in my body? Where am I holding myself back? Where am I resisting change? Am I, trying to keep the peace? Am I not speaking my truth? Am I afraid of showing up or being seen? These are all things to start to become aware of so that you could address your energy centers. And it helps to journal your emotional and physical cues because they point to the chakra activity. And I will release that in the training inside the membership as well. And if not, ask for guidance. Ask for guidance from your higher self or your gut. Ask questions and then put your focus in that area. Put your focus on each chakra and ask what it needs and what wisdom does it have to tell you. And it will tell you if you are able to sit in that stillness. And the work is being able to sit in that stillness and what comes up for you and not running away from it, learning to address it, to approach it with curiosity and love and grace. And then you will start to notice that this becomes easier and more intuitive over time, and you just respond accordingly. So if you've made it this far, you've activated your chakras, hopefully like you feel some lightness. That's already elevating your frequency and aligning your chakras and opening them. So I would take note, like, how did I feel before watching this and how do I feel now? If I watch this again, what comes up for me? I highly, highly recommend that you go through this another time and really listen to it after processing some of the information I've given you because it's a lot to take in from a foundational level, but I also want you to enjoy the activation that comes from listening to this training and really processing it from a different perspective after hearing it for the first time. So, your chakra system is not just energetic, it is spiritual, it's light based, and it's a map to your multidimensional self. It is a portal to every dimension and on so many levels, ancestral, karmic, soul levels, wisdom from the earth and what it needs from you, and the love you need, and the nurturing that comes from being in nature. You will feel so connected to every aspect of life as well as yourself that will ground you in your wholeness and your totality and your potential. So, by learning to regulate and recalibrate and realign your chakras, you're not just healing, you're constantly evolving and ascending. You are reclaiming your wholeness and integrating your shadow and activating your light because shadows don't exist even with the dimmest of lights. This is how powerful your light is. So the more you brighten and you resonate at that higher frequency, the bigger your light shines and the less darkness there is, and it will just spread outwards into the world, and you will be that change that it needs. You are remembering the divine blueprint that lives inside you, that gives you your purpose from God, and you are activating it and feeling fulfilled and approaching life with lightheartedness and clarity and alignment. So, welcome to the beginning of your energetic mastery. This is just the start. And if you want to learn more, make sure that you watch the next trainings I release in the collective as well as on YouTube if you're not ready to commit yet, but you still want to learn more. I got you. Otherwise, I highly, highly recommend that you take advantage of joining the Intuitive Alchemy Collective It has a 7-day free trial, which will not exist forever. This is very limited time right now, as well as the price is going to double by the end of May. So if you want to take advantage of it now, please do before it goes up and you don't have a chance to even do the free trial, because this this is just a sample of what we're doing inside the Intuitive Alchemy Collective. And if you are a member and you are watching this from the Intuitive Alchemy Collective, I will see you in the next video. I want to add that at the end of the month inside the Intuitive Alchemy Collective, I am hosting a chakra recalibration workshop where we go over each chakra in real time and open up and balance and recalibrate each one with me as your guide. And I will give you all the tools you need in order to use as homework, to use after the fact, so that you can maintain this balance, this harmony of your chakras, and maintain this highest frequency state. So if that interests you, I am allowing the public free access to this workshop. It is at the end of May and it is hosted on YouTube live. And I'll put the link in the comments and the pinned description to register so that you get notifications of when this workshop is happening. So if that interests you, see the link in the comments and there will be a place to opt in so that I have your email and I'll send you some information and let you know when this is happening. Okay, bye.